Hello and welcome back to the ESEA Pro League. We are going into our final game. We've got Fnatic, their first game of the new season. This is, of course, Season 2, our first stream, kicking off day 1 of our second season. And now they're at the top of the table, Lee.
Yep.
Hey, they got 2 wins in their 2 games, picking up Cash and Inferno against SK and Mouse. Now we're going to be seeing how Mouse can fare up against Fnatic, which should prove interesting considering what we just experienced.
Well, they are the defending Pro League champions. And for
major
good reason,
champions.
And 3 times major champions. Yeah. And yeah, so definitely a tough task. And it's on Inferno of all things, which is probably Fnatic's best in the world map. Like, they are, I think, arguably the best in the world on that team. Yeah, no doubt about it. So it's going to be tough for them, no doubt. So we'll see how it works out. The knife round will be getting underway in a few short moments. But we could talk about how Fnatic didn't reach the final in Dubai, which is probably the first time in quite a while that Fnatic have turned up to an event and haven't been in the final and haven't won the event.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think back to which ones they've been at and didn't win. Probably was Face It, I'm trying to think of, in Valencia. I think that's probably the one I can think of.
Correct. I wish I had that piece of paper in front of me.
I think that's the one they went out in the semis or quarters. I can't think which one it was. But I think that's the last time that they didn't win it.
That does ring a bell to me as well. I remember when I was doing my major prep and I was like looking for when Fnatic weren't on top of their game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right in terms of how Fnatic have been performing as of late. Like, they didn't get to the grand final, which just feels odd. Like, when you think grand final and not Fnatic, something's gone awry. But I think it's safe to say that that was more of a case of other teams performing out of their mind. Virtus Pro.
Yeah.
I mean, those guys were playing the best CS I've seen from Virtus Pro.
I love seeing Virtus Pro when they're playing at that level. They're so I don't know what it is. What's the word? Just good to watch, basically.
Good to watch. Entertaining.
Entertaining.
They capture your attention.
Yeah.
I agree.
You want them to win. When you see them, like how happy they are when they're winning, when they're starting to hit that form, they're just, I still can't think of the word.
You know what? You'll shout out a random word.
It's going to come at me just like midway through the game.
At some point, and I'll know that that's it.
Yeah, but you just can't help but fall for them when they're playing that well. You know, you want them to win. You get behind them. I was kind of getting behind them, even though it was against TSM, a team I really like. I just like, come on, it's going to be so good. And when Snacks was playing that way. Anyway, we're getting completely distracted.
And that's okay.
Away from Fnatic versus mousesports.
We can get sidetracked because we are still waiting for these guys to jump on in with the knife round. Vogo is still in the server, which makes me a little concerned. You can see what's
still 6v5. That's just cheating right now.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the same thing from Envy as well. So Envy had Next, their manager, in as well. So maybe the Pro League trend continues.
That didn't work out too well for them, though.
Gosh, yeah. I mean, you know what we can do is just a quick recap for those of you as we are going into the knife round. So, no, we won't. We will screw that off. A quick recap, though, would be saying that NIP prevailed up against Envious 16-8. SK versus Navi went Navi's way 16-11. And, of course, the game we just brought to you was mousesports' first test on Inferno. This will be their second of the evening, where they struggled to pick up a 6th round.
Yeah, we'll see how this knife goes. Mouse did win out last time and started out on the CT side, but it didn't work out too well for them. It did end up 10-5 to Na'Vi on the T side in the first half.
There we go.
It does look like Mouse are the knife kings, unfortunately for them. Can they follow it through? That's the question. Assuming that Olafmeister will actually let them catch him up. Yep. Come on, Olaf.
At least it's not that hour timer on knife rounds where you just have to wonder how long it can go on for.
Yeah. That's true. Just keep on chasing around the map.
It's always that Benny Hill theme tune. Yep. Oh, it's actually Benny Hill. What's it called? Yakety Sax. That's it. Oh, and that's all off. Whew, there we go. So that does give Mouse the choice of sides. Of course, they did have that last time, and we saw them choose the CT side up against Navi. See if they're going to make the same decision again. I would expect so. And they're going to be starting on the defense up against Fnatic. Now, let's go through what went wrong. What went wrong for Mouse at the start of their first Inferno game this evening?
Well, they lost the pistol. That's always the thing that goes wrong.
But what was it? What kind of wall were they hitting? It was more of a case of getting kind of ripped
kills. They just, I mean, we look back at it where they had that spell, and there was probably around about, what, 3-4 rounds running where they got maybe 2 kills total.
I think you're right. It was a lack of frags, but also it was a case of the way Navi were playing was very difficult. I wouldn't be surprised if Fnatic were just watching that. They knew they were going up against Inferno on this team. Why would they not sit there and watch Mouse up against Navi? And let's see where this one takes us. We're going aggressive. Look at these guys pushing straight down mid. This is very Navi-esque. I think they've taken a leaf out of their book, and it looks like that book is most definitely boding very well for them, as it's going to be all then left to Olaf and GW. But Make it just JW as Olof has paid for his trouble. And
okay.
JW.
They're all on full hit points. This is still doable. He has got a armor on, but when Dennis finds his head like that, it's just going to get taken clean off. So, aggressive from Mouse. Worked.
Check that off the list. Check that one off this. Actually, you know, now you've said aggressive, I feel like I remember something I was saying was that it took about 4 or 5 rounds for Mouse to go aggressive on the CT side. And talk of aggressive. 3 MP9s and 2 P90s. The most we've seen so far was the 3 SMG buyout of Navi. Now we're going to be seeing the full 5 stacked up SMGs, full nades all across the board. Nico even treating himself to a molly if he wants to roast a couple of Fanatics. But
they're not going full Navi. They're not just going to run on down that mid though. And Chris J getting tagged up actually as soon as he peaked. So I think Fnatic were very much ready for the rush there. It's not quite going to work out that way. Olof Meister's going to be the simple guy that goes separate from the rest of his team while they look into stacked with B. And it's a good little setup here from Nico and Dennis over on B site. They're sitting pretty passively, not going to show themselves, not going to get caught off by any of those Deagle headshots that possibly could come through.
Now, looking to build off of this. Fnatic, they did invest pretty heavily. I mean, I'm looking at that scary Olof with his full armor tech 9. He is the one that's been desperately trying to find something on towards apps. It does look like Fnatic have kind of hit a bit of a wall because they know as soon as they push out through these smokes that have just kept on coming, Mouse just delaying the T side as much as they can. Of course, you know, we saw how late you can push onto a site in that 15 seconds or so it was.
So Pronex has got the one smoke. It's just gone out. That's going to force Nex to be the man that has to defend. And they're actually caught out in the open here. It should work out well for them. Olofmeister with the Tech 9, we know how well he can work. Does manage to get himself the opener. Now, Godby getting flashed out, tries to push on through, but he gets caught out by Pronax. It's a 3-on-2, make it a 2-on-2 as Nico evens things up.
That was a crucial frank from Nico. Now this is something they can work with. Both have full health, even a flash for Dennis, which could prove fatal to that man in pit. But Dennis needs to put his socks up and get through apps. He needs to be there to provide a helping hand for his teammate. Nico's making the call, and Dennis, you need to hurry up. Finally going to dive down, and he hasn't finally connected the shots. Good God, he stared at the floor for a good portion of that run. And it is going to be the second round, but man, Mouse had to work.
Yeah, that was already Fnatic putting pressure onto mousesports, and that just shows like the big difference that they had with Na'Vi there. But they did manage to close it out. The B defense came to the rescue, and that was something that was lacking previously. A was getting wiped out, and B was just getting smashed the second it came to the thing. You mentioned it as it happened, Nico coming around, picking up that kill. That was vital to make it a 2-on-2 because they had 2 SMGs at that point.
And if that player had got settled, that would have caused a whole extra load of worry because that player playing apps would have been challenged. Now, though, we do see the 2 M4s, and they're going for this triple P90. Get Right's got a big smile on his face if he's still watching this game. And Fnatic, triple AK going into the fray.
Yeah, and they've got themselves the head armor in there as well. Crimson Flusher are waiting to collect some weapons off anyone that gets killed out. Lack of smokes over on B side, delayed smokes. And this is something the Mouse are going to try here. They're going to try and slow things down. The second that Fnatic show themselves, smoke it out. There's Nico. They feel like they're hearing footsteps, and they would be right to think that. Oh, he's going to get flashed out. The second that clears, he's going to flash out. It could be perfect with his P90. It could work out, but he's going to get pushed early on. But there's the flash. It's not quite going to work in time, though. Pronax will manage to find him. Now Nico has to back away. He's going to get smoked off here and taken out by JW. And now there's a real problem for mousesports.
Fnatic are just clinical with this push on through. Playing it just so beautifully stacked up, trusting each other as they push on through. And now, looks like next Godby and Chris J have got their work cut out for them. Flusher pushing through, perfect. Flash, he could very well find 2, he does! And Pronax in the meantime took down the in-game leader of Mouse as well, and Fnatic. Just 3 AKs necessary, and they managed to pick up the 3rd. That was something Mouse weren't anticipating. And I mean, something I did just notice there surrounding Mouse was that it took a long time for Mouse to start giving Dennis, sending Dennis towards B. It was primarily just Nico left on his own. Right now, second round in, and Dennis is accompanying Nico. Didn't work out for them, though, in the hold of B.
Yeah, and that was just timing, or well read by Fnatic. I'm not too sure which. The second that Molly was down, they clearly wanted to flash Nico around with that P90.
Timing. Yeah, for sure.
But the second that it cleared, Fnatic made their push instead. They countered it. So whether they're expecting the flash, I mean, it's a pretty standard move these days, the pop flash around, somebody getting a couple of kills. They did it even in the last round, of course, with the pistols on Navi, and it worked out great success. But well read by Fnatic, and that's put mousesports in a real tricky situation because, again, they're back to pistols. Crim's even gone for the Mac 10 as well. Flusher's going to find himself one. Flusher, by the way, beautiful little flash out for himself a moment ago. He's cleared out B defense himself. Yeah,
I think we're going to see Crim's... Whoa, or not. I was going to say pocket 600, but no. Chris J, 2 bullets of his USP, and Crims is no more. Again, Mouse finding success with just pistols. This is becoming a bit of a trend now for the German side. And Fnatic are orientating themselves towards B. Chris J and Nex are on their heels, and Godby is a mile and a half away, so I don't think we're going to be seeing him for a while. Bomb going in now, courtesy of Olof, as the smoke does enable him to move a little freer surrounding the site. And it's just these walls of smoke. I think Mouse have made the decision. You can see the fact that Godby hasn't started his rotate. The call's been made. That they're quite happy with the AK and Mac 10. Just releasing Nexus 5-7 to try and take a couple of weapons away from Fnatic. Not going to happen, though, and that's going to be the second on the board for the reigning major champions.
Yeah, Chris J and Godby's good. We'll be able to hold on. Doesn't look like they're going to get hunted down too aggressively by Fnatic. So, as you say, 2-2. But already some possible worries for Fnatic. But, sorry, for mousesports. Rescuing rifles, that's about all they could hope for from that round. And I'm pretty sure they were going to lose it regardless of the start. So what will mousesports do? They can afford to bite. They can pass off a couple of weapons. They should be okay, but they need to start figuring out how they're going to defend this one. JW going for an AWP early on here as well. Something we didn't see from Guardian until very much the last round of the T-side.
Yeah, double digits for sure. Yeah. Okay, so JW's AWP is something you've got to keep an eye on, because I would not be surprised if he was the one left towards apps later on in this game. He's been very, very competent in just pushing through mid and clearing out the arch and quad sides of things. So, going to be seeing the 3 players from Mouse. This is that quad stack that we saw before, and it worked out beautifully beforehand, as it is going to start pretty poorly, actually. Crim's kind of getting a good glimpse, and the nade very well may end that. As it does, Godby then down and out. And look at this. Oh, this could be beautiful. It should be 2. Next, 1 bullet away from finding that frag, and is going to back away to safety as he watches his teammate Chris J crumble under the boot of JW. And they are just applying so much pressure around this site. This is Mouse just falling to Fnatic. Frag after frag. Fnatic strolling into A, claiming it as their own. And now Dennis is forced to back away and try and keep that M4 safe and sound.
Yeah, just good positioning, winning out the duels. It's just all working. JW, look at the aggression he's got going on here. Sees him. Oh, it's not going to work out. Gets the flash down. That will keep him pinned. He's just waiting for the rest of his team to come around. It's Olof that's going to come around. Doesn't matter. Crims is going to beat him to the foot race. And Fnatic do pick up the round to make it 3-2. So, well, mousesports are back to an eco, or unless they're going to force it, I doubt it. They've got to go eco. They've got to go full eco.
It's really interesting to me that you can. So when you watch these games so quickly back to back, you see so many differences in how teams structure their T side. Like Fnatic there put so much more emphasis on that app presence in apps. They were really looking to kind of find quad through that peek through apps. Crims was the one that kind of started that one off. And I mean, Na'Vi previously, they were completely abandoning that, using their smokes to push straight through main mid. And talk about that in a second, because Crims has just gone highly aggressive, and we saw what Mouse can do with pistols beforehand. It's happening all over again. Dennis catches his breath, finds a frag. Chris J does the same onto Flusher. And again, Mouse find more success with the pistols.
Oh, Chris J trying to collect one of those weapons. Finds the grenade of Pronax. Look at Olofmeister trying to creep through. Godby's caught him. The pistols just work for mousesports.
I don't get it. I do not get it.
I don't know whether it's the aggressiveness. Oh my word. JW's been taken down. Now Pronax is the last man standing. Guys, I know he's going to get caught out. Finally does switch to a weapon, but takes down Nex. But he's got Godby just off the side towards quad. Dennis is coming now Speedway. He's going to run headlong into it. Comes around the side. Will manage to catch him, but he's on 1 hit point now. Nico, the man to challenge him with the AWP in hand. Yeah, put it away. Switch to pistol. He's got to know that he's been lit pretty heavily. He's going to come around. Nico's not going to miss. And would you believe, mousesports with just pistols pick up the round through Fnatic's own aggression.
I feel like if we just go through that Na'Vi game and this one, Mouse have won more rounds with pistols than they have anything else. I swear, because they picked up 5, and I'm pretty sure 3 of them were like off the back of a force or just eco. Yeah, I mean, that's happened again. And now we see a different example. Fnatic understand there were weapons in the hands of Mouse, and they're going to play it completely differently. I think it's actually the fault of the opponents to some degree by treating those those pistol mouse sports differently. How they would with
JW.
the buy. JW on the hunt, and Chris J says no. Stop, JW. I know you. These guys have clashed so many times in varying capacities and varying tournaments. Chris J knows what to expect.
What was that? I mean, it's funny. I remember reading JW's tweet the other week when Freakazoid was having a moment, and he said, you know, I'm not the best AWP player in the world, but I play with confidence. Look at the way I play. Well, good lord, he just ran all the way up the top of mid. He just tried to peek straight at Chris J, who's no slouch with the AWP himself. Did manage to come out on top, and actually does give mousesports a really good chance in this round. They should close it out 4-3. Flusher, the last man standing. And using their own weapons against them here. That AWP that was collected in the last round, picking up the double for Chris J. This is something they lacked against Na'Vi. They didn't get really the AWP in Chris J hands. I think they got it twice maybe, but he got wiped out straight away. There wasn't a moment really where Na'Vi challenged on CT Arch. They just smoked him off every single round, which isn't happening this time around. Looks like Flusher's just going to sit and hold and wait with his weapon. It doesn't look like... Is Nico going to find him?
I don't think
Is he tucked in enough? I don't think he's going to check there, yeah. I think he's going to go towards T-spawn.
18 seconds then. There's Flusher still...
Oh, it's found his back.
Hoping to find a way out. Not going to happen then, and mousesports secure 4. So we're now 7 rounds in. Bearing in mind at this point, mousesports hadn't picked up a round. We saw them go 0-10 previously. And just this is exactly what we said, where you can't look at one result and assume another. Like literally, this is the same map, the same team, straight off the back of a very, very astounding loss against Na'Vi. 16-5 was the final score. And now mousesports are 1 round away, probably going to be this one, to get that same score in 9.
Yeah, it's just the tiny little things, you know. The fact that they did get those kills early on, they did get that pistol, that anti-eco round, it worked out well for them. JW is about to get peeked on here. He's trying to get through, but Chris J starting to hit shots with a bit more confidence. Olof going way too aggressive there, but you know, they're just using pistols. They're trying a couple of things out here with P250s, but it doesn't look like Mouse are going to get caught out this time around. Little tag onto Pronex as he peeks out of the boiler there, forces him back. Flusher's managed to find Dennis. Nico, though, not so easy to uproot, it seems, over on B side.
And they just really would be pretty damn happy to get that bomb down, but I think Nico has ensured Pronex knows what's going on. As Nex will most definitely be checking his corners, and Pronex surely not going to be able to take anything out of this one. Not going to happen. Got mousesports just paying the price of 1 man, as they do pick up 5 and pick up that same score that they managed to pick up in the full game against Na'Vi. So, Fnatic, where do they go from here? They are going to be putting the AKs in the hands. No AWP for JW, though. No budget really allowing for that. And now it comes down to where Chris J goes from here. He's been finding a whole lot of success in middle. I wouldn't be surprised if he does change things up a little bit, as he knows there's going to be Fnatic kind of... They have his number towards middle now. Got
be smoked out banana there for them, so it's going to be fairly high defense from Nico and Dennis. Meanwhile, aggressive stuff again, and Chris J gets yet another peek, gets another look, gets himself another opening frag, and it causes Fnatic yet more problems as Nex finds Olof through the smoke there. Not the ideal situation for Fnatic when they were into the AKs, and this is going to force them onto an eco next. Now they should be okay-ish. They may have to eco after this. Maybe.
Here he comes. It's going to be Nex training on his location. He's still at 10 bullets, but he opted for the inspect. What was that? Nex fat fingers potentially, but in the meantime, Crims and Flusher are just going to be taken apart, dismantled 1 by 1. It's going to be Gobby who finds that final frag. mousesports seem to find such a fresh face coming into this final game of our first day here of the ESEA Pro League.
They're warmed up. They're warmed up and ready to go now. They know what they're going to do on the CT side. They've had a little practice against Na'Vi. It didn't go the greatest for them in that scrim, so now they're against Fnatic and they're putting what they learned to use. And maybe, I don't know, you never know, it's just the playstyles. Na'Vi, obviously, we saw how slow they were doing it, how deliberately slow they were coming into bomb sites, getting with 9 seconds to go, getting the plant down. So maybe this speed works into Mouse's favor there.
And frags are happening now.
Yes.
That was our main point. Yeah. We were saying that Mouse just weren't winning these duels. They weren't winning the challenges that were presented to them. And this time, it's quite the opposite. Look at this aggression from Fnatic. Crims is trying to sell something quite fakey towards B. He's making noise. He's peeking with the bomb. He wants them to see that bomb. He wants them to think everything is going on towards B. And actually, you know what? I won't be surprised if Fnatic do go this way. They have flashes, and they are investing them on towards that B site. I tell a lie, it most definitely is not a fake. The molly is there, and it's going to be all good in the hood. I tell a lie, what just happened? Pronax and Olaf finding a frag apiece. The molly does tickle Crims to death, and now we see where you can build from here. Perfect smoke from the T side. That's going to make it difficult. They do not want to be pushing through that. By no stretch of the imagination. Gobby even getting brought down a little lower by Flusher. Bomb down, 2 rifles acquired, and this is comfortable from Fnatic now. All they need to do is lie and wait, but for some reason, Pronax is challenging out this presence.
Well, he manages to land one of the shots. Chris J still pushing on through. JW behind them! He gets him behind. Flusher and Pronax do the work. And as you said, just 2 points of health is all they needed, but a great little round from Pronax there. 6-4, Fnatic back in it.
That's insane. Pronax had no armor, no health, and he peeked through, went for the 2 fully armored, fully utilized CTs, and picks up the frag. 6-4 then going to be the score in that one, as Fnatic managed to pick up a round that I had written off, and I'm pretty sure Mouse were feeling quite similarly about that one. And that's
look at the aggression.
Nice from Chris J. Look at this guy. He's just walking straight down middle. He's going to be able to catch a glimpse of one. In the meantime, Flusher did find that, but look at the trade. Chris J is going to be able to take 2 for his troubles. Olaf coming from behind. This is a kooky round. What is going on here? As players are pushing everywhere. Already, we're 1 minute 20 still left on the round, and 1 man stands for Fnatic.
Just Pronax. That's
what just
definitely
happened?
A quick switch of speed there, but if Pronax wins this duel, it's got to go Fnatic's favor. Nico just with 5 health. The bomb plant's going to go quad side, so Pronax probably going to back his way into pit or graveyard to cover this one off. Is he going to go up on high? Looks like he may even try and boost himself up. No, it will be pit. So Nico's going to come from apartment. So positions reset, but Nico with just 5 health has to see Pronax first, or he's not going to win this duel.
Didn't check it. Nico picks up the frag, and he is going to be able to pick up the round for his team. Pronax, he did so much with so little in the round prior, but not going to be able to do it 2 in a row, as he's going to be able to retrieve the AK as well. Nico unfazed by his low health bar, and is going to be sitting quite happily at the top of the scoreboard here. The youth, who has recently joined the roster full-time, is now going to be demonstrating what he can do when he is allowed to move from B, because we saw he was basically fixed. He had his shoes cemented on that B site. Now, given a couple of extra stretches of freedom, and he's doing good things with it.
And we need to remind ourselves, while it does look very different from the last match, this is actually normal score. This is what you would expect Inferno to be. You know, in Terra's side, not going crazy and picking up 10 rounds back-to-back. That's just not an ordinary game. 7-4 is perfectly normal. Fnatic, you would expect them to pick up another couple of rounds before we go in towards that CT side, and that's really where they're going to make the difference. So JW this time with the AWP. Going to take a peek. Chris J has been landing shot after shot, but this time he's on an M4. So not going to be challenging, not going to be getting those big opening frags, and Fnatic clearly being a bit more respectable now. Respectful, I was going to say,
yeah. They are. And they've definitely kind of realised that Mouse are not here to, I was about to say to play games, but that's most definitely what they are here for.
Be a bit wrong if they weren't.
It would be really odd, yeah, for sure. Now, where do they go from here? The execute is most definitely coming. Olaf does catch the tail end of one of his teammates' flashes, but they are going to be starting to push towards CT Arch. There's a smoke there to enable them. This is nice from Fnatic. Can you see what's going on here? Can you see what's taking shape?
Beautiful.
4 members slinking their way to wrap around towards B, and 3 members of Mouse are none the wiser. This is beautiful. Dennis and Nico are going to be quaking in their boots, because here comes the wave of orange from Fnatic. Times it a bit poorly, though. Olaf is going to go down, and now Nico and Dennis, the cornered beasts, are going to be pushed from all these angles, but they're still fragging. They're still body... Oh, I was going to say they were going to find another, but no. 3v3 now. Bomb's going to be going in from Fnatic, and looks like Flush is going to be ensuring this round's success. JW does the same, and it's all on to Chris. That was a very, very nice strategy executed from Fnatic. That was sexy CS.
Yeah, that was beautifully done. Perfectly positioned smokes to slink through there. Chris J had backed himself away. He was setting himself up for the pop flash around the corner to try and catch them out. Pop flashed around. It was like, no one here? I don't know where they are.
Yeah, that smoke waiting for them, everything. They had true faith in that strategy.
Also, you noticed nobody moved from Mouse, so they obviously didn't hear the footsteps either as they snuck around that corner, snuck through CT Arch. They had no idea that was happening. They just... No information was gathered, and poor old Dennis and Nico were just completely caught in a real tricky situation with 1 in front and 4 behind.
I'm actually going to write that down because I want to watch that back. 7-4 was the score for that one, but they did manage to pick up their 5th off the back of that one, and now What page are you going to tear out next, Pro? Next, what have you got for us? As it is going to be an AWP battle, and JW does prevail, barely showing himself before taking chrisJ out of this round. Now, Olof, he's gone aggressive. This is going to be very nice if he can find the second as well. I think he caught a glimpse of Nex. I wouldn't be surprised if Mag 7 v AK goes the way of the AK here, as Crims does take him down, and now Nico and Dennis are just going to try and surely take at least a frag away from Fnatic. This could very well be a perfect round
they have to save
from the Swedes, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to find anything as they accept that this is going to be 7-6.
Yeah, they've got to back away from this one. Flusher might find Nico, though. Just making sure. I think that Fnatic are going to chase him down as well. Flusher's going to be the one that's creeping forward. Nico, sure, he found him first, but those pillars not working in his favor. Does finally get the kill, and only got scratched in the process. So rescues himself an AK and keeps hold of his health. And that's going to make it trickier. That flash landed perfectly on the rest of Fnatic as they came around there. So they're not going to be able to catch on towards him. Nico should be safe. And mousesports cling on to those weapons. But 7-6 the score. Fnatic, as I mentioned at 7-4, I expected them to pick up another couple of rounds, and they've already done that. I didn't expect them to quite so quick. But the problem was, once again, for mousesports, they're not going to be able to afford any weapons, just those 2 rifles they had. Are Nico and Dennis going to keep hold of them and keep them on B site and basically secure B site? Are we going to see them change position? No, it will just be B site. Oh, chrisJ switched. Okay, so they've kept 1 rifle either side. Yeah,
but it certainly makes sense. It's going to be Nico who leaves B for the time being, as it's going to be JW who's on the prowl, trying to find something on towards B. He's going to find one, surely going to be pressured. He is. chrisJ's P250 does enable him to get the frag, but he's forced to escape with just the M4. That AWP, as tantalizing as it may have seemed, he realized there was plenty of Fnatic members keeping their eyes locked on that weapon. Godby, this is exciting. Trying to get a silent dismount. Try and catch 2 members of Fnatic. Oh, he's going to get one. Is he going to check his left? He could, and he didn't quite catch Crims in time. But smart plays there from the in-game leader. And the bomb is actually heading towards his domain. He finds one. This could be a very good...
Oh, he needed to land that one. I think it was that was Crims that was trying to back away there. That was a great little rotate. Oh, and he's caught Flusher as well. Flusher's just on 12 health here. chrisJ, this is the weapon that he picked up all the way around in Banana. Now he's on the rotate again. The foot race is on, but Crims will get the smoke down. But chrisJ, no armor, remember, but he's got more health.
God, chrisJ needs like a pedometer at this point. He's done a whole lot of steps on Inferno. He's been doing circuits now to try and keep
good position, Crims.
This round out, and he's surely not going to be checking this. But he does what? Finds the head of Crims. Now there's a heavily tagged up Flusher. He's thinking about drawing him out with the fake. But I think Flusher's read too well into this. Time is against him now, and Flusher, he's too smart. He knows exactly there's going to be no kit. He knows the economy state of the CTs, and he knows he can just play the time. chrisJ is going to be able to get away with the rifle, but... Oh, imagine if that frag onto Flusher had been an extra bullet. One extra bullet, and the round was chrisJ. Still, that's going to put 7 then on the board for Fnatic, as they are going to be battling to get just that 1 step ahead in our final round.
Yeah, just tagged him so heavily on CTR. It's like you say, just 1 extra bullet would have been all it took. But, well, 7-7. Fnatic looking great here. This is a good T-side from them. 10-5s aside from the previous matchup. This is still a good T side, and they had that little moment of waver, but overall, mousesports I think they're going to be a bit happier than they were in the previous matchup. JW looking to peek onto Nico and Dennis while the rest of his team creep their way towards this smoke. They're going to flash away through it, but Olafmeister is going to get caught out by chrisJ. Backs away quickly, gets himself a second, can't quite get the third, but the damage has been done, and Fnatic will be slowed down, and now Godby's going to try and make that move, but Nico's gone on the rotate, and Fnatic, well, they're backtracking. They're going back to Banana.
Yeah, and I mean, this has worked quite nicely because Nico, he's moved all the way over towards A in the absence of chrisJ. He decided to make that move, and so it comes down to Dennis, who has been more of a stranger to B than Nico. He's going to be mollied out of position. This is nice, but he does throw his own smoke to enable the reposition. Now, plenty of time for Fnatic to change their mind here, and I think Nico realizes that because he is still sticking around. Fnatic, they're about to cause a whole lot of trouble. This could be 3 through the smoke. They're all so blind. He's right in front of him, staring down the barrel. He's not going to have a chance as JW's barrel is pressed against the back of his neck. And now we find ourselves in a 3v3. Altercation through smoke aside, JW has a chance to push straight on through. Of course he does. Of course that's what JW chooses to do. As he's coming around construction, there is absolutely no chance Mouse consider this an option. But JW is doing what JW does best. Trying to push around behind Nico. Does connect the quick scope now, and it's all on to next for Mouse. Trying to keep the dreams of an 8th round alive, and it's going to be JW, who is just, he's a monkey around this map, doing parkour through Inferno. And that's going to put 8-7 then on the board.
A monkey around the map. That is beautiful. Pretty much the description of JW, because he was absolutely piling around, jumping around anywhere. We saw from right at the beginning, I think it was round 3, where he went right up mid, straight into Chris J's face. Lost out with the duel though, but 8-7, good T-sign for Fnatic there. Aggressive stuff and some very clever tactics coming out of Pronax and his team there. That beautiful smoke. We've seen it before, but never do we see it executed so crisply.
And with so much faith in the strat.
Yeah.
Like, not one member of Fnatic second guessed that checked behind them. Like, they knew there'd be flashes to cover them. They knew there'd be smokes to cover them. Like, Olaf came out of Boiler, didn't check his back, didn't check any corners. He walked straight towards CT Arch because he knew his team were there. True reliance on their team, and that is exciting. I'm going to be watching that one back. I might even like end up making myself a video about that one, just so I could be like, look at Fnatic. Oh, look how good this is. Look at this. We love you, Pronax. But now, 8-7 the score, and look at this. This is exactly what mousesports did the round prior. Even smoking off ult mid. This is exciting as they're just going to be charging in to clash towards T-ramp, and they took 2 for the trouble. Flusher and Pronax are the ones to connect, and the remaining mousesports squad are about to run headlong into Flusher's USP, and he's done so much damage already, taking Nex with him before he does bite the dust, and a heavily tagged up Nico and Dennis are left to fend for themselves on B.
I love watching the pro players pop up and down like Nico was there. Just up, down, gets the headshots usually. Bomb down, remember. So this is good for mousesports in this 2-on-2 retake. They just need to delay, but Olafmeister will manage to find one. JW with a second. The defuse will come through. 10 seconds. You want to say, why is he not letting JW do it? He's got a kit and he should have plenty of time. So 9-7. Fnatic pick up both pistols now. Remember, they picked it up on the T side, which generally signals Fnatic should be winning this match. Let's see if they can close it out. Oh, shotgun, Crims.
He has got a bit of a tendency to go towards the...
there we go. JW, of course. That's the heat, is it? Yes.
You bring in the heat. Now, I would be surprised if this goes in towards apps and Crims does something similar with
Crims will probably boost on B.
No, he's going B, yeah. He's going to get boosted up close.
So he'll have Crims' defense, so he'll probably be... No, he's just going to go straight in their faces.
Okay, so 5 members of Mouse are still at T-ramp.
Forced it. AK and Galil. I mean, they did get the bomb plant down and it went onto a decent enough fight, but that does surprise me. All these Tech 9s, Galil and an AK. That's very aggressive from Mouse.
This is a very nice little stack, though. Crims is going to shred through them with a Nova or not. 5 members of Mouse were flashed there. Full flash onto 5.
Push down the bottom. They're going straight around the back of it. Pronax.
He's going to be able to mow them down. That's 2. They are going to hit the brakes as they realize what's coming, and the MP9 did manage to fare pretty nicely for him. A worthwhile investment as it almost pays for itself now. And Crims.
God. Headshot with the shotty. That's not what you want. Oh, they do manage to get a bit of a revenge there, but look at this coming around the back of them. Flusher from behind. From the front, sorry. JW from behind. So Fnatic, and that was a full-on investment from mousesports. So they are going to go full eco this time around. That's going to give Fnatic yet another bite. And more aggression, I think we're going to see from Fnatic this time around. Are they going to go straight down mid, I wonder?
This is such a contrasting game of Inferno. We saw previously, just the game prior, an example of slow CS, like proper methodical, strategic Navi executes.
They're going down mid.
And now we've seen what Fnatic do on the CT side. Flush is going to start with a nice double as he shreds through the unarmored Ts, and they are just hunting, shooting fish in a barrel or Ts on Inferno. It's all the same to Fnatic as now Nico is going to be pressurized by 5 members of Fnatic, desperately clutching onto his clock before JW is rude enough to pick it up with the Mag 7.
So, that's the easy rounds out the way for Fnatic.
Take a deep breath. Yeah. We're back into rifles.
We're back to rifles. mousesports, after their rather heavy investment in round 2, backfired. Fnatic, however, are going to keep hold of the Mag 7 and the Nova. Why not? Why not just do that? I mean, you know what? It's worked for them a moment ago. We'll see if it backfires, because mousesports really could do with picking up their first T round here.
So, again with these shotguns, again with this heavy play. Oh, JW's caught between a rock and a hard place. Pronax is the one to remove that rock from the equation, though, and he should be able to. Somehow, he got that far.
I was thinking, how has he got the confidence to run that far back?
Dennis was like, are you really doing this, JW? Now, though, 3v3. Mouse are heavily tagged up. Godby and Nex have 16 points of health between them. Oh.
Don't think the next match is happening. TSM versus TSM, that would be quite impressive, but as it is, Fnatic are going to close out the round.
We're playing Pong on stream.
I think our producer's trolling us right now.
Anyway, looking forward to the next matchup. Really excited to see how TSM fares up against TSM.
I reckon it's going to be 10-10. I reckon it's going to be 10-10.
Yeah, you calling it?
Yeah, it's a close game.
Okay.
We'll see. 12-7 is the score here, though. Fnatic are in full control right now, and again, it's another eco for mousesports. Every time they try the AKs, they run into a very confident Fnatic. They've triple stacked over at B site, maybe expecting something, or instead they're just going to run straight down mid. Is it going to work out? Well, it probably will do, because it's Fnatic.
Yeah, and I think this map may very well have been said and done at this point. The fact that they have been given so many stretches of freedom that they are winning rounds despite the bye. mousesports' economy, of course, has been shreked so far. I mean, they haven't picked up a single round. And finally, Godby's going to be finding a couple of frags. That's going to be 2 for him.
Still can't quite pick up one of those rifles, though. You can see them. They're on the steps. They're beckoning him in. But so are the nades. So is everybody from Fnatic. And it's another for JW.
It must be so hard to like, feel like you're being respected sometimes against Fnatic. It must be such a horrible experience.
He's got to the auto shotty this time. Oh, Crims, you're having fun. That's what he's doing. JW's gone ult, though, so we are going to see some M4s as well.
I've never made that connection that the auto shot is called Blue Steel. Quite like that. A Zoolander reference.
The Zoolander reference, yeah.
Zoolander 2's coming out soon as well. Anyway, movies aside, getting a bit sidetracked because it does feel like Fnatic are really getting a little too comfy at this point. JW is expecting Dennis to peek it. Oh my, the flick! Manages to connect onto Dennis. He surely was expecting that. That's exactly where Dennis was the round prior. Is going to pay for the aggressiveness, though. Nico was the one to connect alongside the helping hand given by his teammate. Olaf going aggressive is going to somehow win that 1v1. These are frags you don't normally see going this way. And now Chris J and Godby are the 2 remaining players for Mouse. They shouldn't, but they have. Fnatic looking to pick up the 14th, and Godby full set of utility. They haven't really been given like the chance to execute, the chance to do anything Godby has in his magic book of tricks, because Fnatic are up in their grill. They're having to adapt to what Fnatic's thrown in their face, like, oh, hang on, the AWPs apps will do what we're going to do in a second.
That was so dirty as well from Fnatic. They smoked it off high and had Olaf low. So they're like, well, it can't possibly be anyone past that. They're going to be sat behind the back of car, they're back on site, they've just smoked it off for now. You sort of like creep up there and then he's just like, ooh! Peeks out.
He's like, what, Lee? He's like, what? Thank you. Yeah.
That's exactly what Olaf does. I'm sure if
that's the sound he makes as well.
Anyone's spoken to him, that's totally the sound he'd make, yeah. Peekaboo is what I was going for. But 14-7, Fnatic not allowing mousesports anything on the CT side. And this is what I was a little fearful of, I've got to be honest, especially when they lost that pistol. But unfortunately for mousesports, they've got themselves the AK. They have got JW down, who wants to went fairly aggressive, but I think Fnatic have so much confidence that they don't mind. They've gone for a stack here. Yeah. They're stacking at the top and mid. We saw Renegades doing that at the Major as well recently. Didn't quite work out for him this time around, though. Next. He's up close and personal. Is Crim's going to go for it?
I wouldn't be surprised.
He might just poke around. That shotgun will wreck him if he can get it close range. But it's going to be a push at the top and mid. So Pronax is going to be the man that will try and catch him off. Can see the rifle of one. It is going to be Nico that peeks around. Does manage to land the shot. Chris J will take him down, but Olaf and Flusher already in position to help out. Now,
when they have the disadvantage, this is a round that mousesports have really got to make the most out of, but instead they go for 1v1 challenges. Again, it's going to be next v Flush after watching Nico go down. He's going to try again. Godby provides another, this time taking down Olaf, and this is starting to shape up. This could very well be the first on the board for Mouse. As another tag. Flusher brings down Godby to just 10 points of health, and that, you know what? Those 2 are in prime auto-shotty range. With health like that, you can hit some nutty shots from a distance with the Blue Steel.
That smoke's going to clear. That's going to give Flusher the chance to line up as well. Oh, Godby! Don't show yourself!
Oh,
You'll get your head taken off!
Oh my god, if only there was a catwalk. Crims with the blue steel. And it's going to be Nex who does get the final frag to bring Mouse's first T-round home. Much needed, that's for certain.
Oh, definitely, definitely. I don't think there's much else they're going to get out of it because Fnatic can unfortunately just buy straight back up and it looks like it's serious face mode. Double AWP coming out, JW and olofmeister. P90 for gold B. Nex couldn't really afford anything. I think he's probably had a weapon passed to him. Yes, he has. An M4 is going to drop for him. So let's see. Fnatic looks like a default setup. It's going to be Olof and Pronax to pass on through. JW actually going into apps with his AWP, and of course he's going to go aggressive with it. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Absolutely. JW's doing the same thing. He's going to be expecting God B. Surely not a second. This shouldn't happen. Unfortunately, Nico staves him off, but you better believe.
Surprise!
Olof is ready and waiting. Another one down. The bomb's loose, but Chris J trades it out. This is good from Mouse. They're punishing Fnatic's aggression. 2 AWPs now down and out. Over 9,000 just splattered across apartments. As that heavy double AWP investment has been shut down. Now, though, what do they do with this info? They took down 2 players on the A site. Where would you assume the rest are? Because still, Flusher and Pronax are lingering on A, and Mouse have hit the brakes.
Well, Crims is quite deep on Banana, so I think he just got a glimpse on Nex there, so he's backing up. Not going to call out for the rotation. Ooh, Flusher is going, actually. Flusher's on the rotate, but he's stopped at Arch. I don't think he's going to quite go for it just yet. He's slowed down. Yeah, Pronax has made the call. Pronax is like, nope, nope, don't go yet. This is far too quiet. Crims is not hearing footsteps, but Pronax and Flusher are in a real awkward defensive position here. They're both backed away. Not your standard spot. Pronax instead is not going to cover in pit. He's going to go Arch, and Dennis is going to come right around that corner any second now as we get the freeze come in there, which tells us this is going to be going Pronax's way.
Now, just Chris J and Nex then, trying to get that bomb in. I think they're going to be given enough freedom to do just that, but 3 members of Fnatic are just going to play it for the retake. In fact, not even that. The bomb's coming down in the smoke. Chris J just taking an outlandish risk, and he's got away with it. They walk straight through it. Of course, you wouldn't anticipate the bomb going down there, as that's a smart move from the Mouse boys. Now Nex just walks through the smoke, haphazard, foolish from him, as it comes down to Chris J then. He's a man who's no doubt capable of something like this, but he's standing on the box right in the eye line of Crims, and that's going to be 15 then for Fnatic. Just 1 away now from victory.
You said it yourself, Nex, quite a foolish. I mean, I guess he was going to trying to get a peek around the side there, but you just got to wonder if you set that defense, why not either go to Graveyard or Pit?
I was going to say, he has access. He had access to Graveyard.
Because that bomb position, that's so easy to defend from there.
A lapse of judgment, heat of the moment. There's so many things going on, so many smokes, so many calls. You can sometimes just let it all get away from you. Now, though, Fnatic double up once again, looking to put a final nail into the mousesports coffin for this evening.
Yeah, it's going to be Olaf that's going to go for that first peek. He's going to look straight across, but that smoke will stop him dead. Olaf's going to be instead going straight to apartments. All nade straight to the feet there. Are they going to expect him with that nade going through there? Are they really going to expect olofmeister to take that shot? Well, it doesn't really matter. They're going headlong in towards Flusher, who's using these bullets sparingly. Will get taken down, but Pronax is there in backup, and that is just mopped up. Gotta be the last man standing. Not sure what he can do here. He's got himself an AWP, but that is simply it. A wing, a hope, and a prayer is about all he can handle. Oh, Jesus. Easy. Pronax nearly killing his teammate, but 16-8 will be the end score. And it's another confident performance from Fnatic, as you would expect.
As you would expect, it's going to be the kind of words along most of the games for this evening. A solid start, though, from the Pro League, seeing Fnatic pick up their first win in convincing fashion. mousesports being tested twice over on Inferno. And what a great evening it's been. Just to start things off, all teams here, all teams present and correct, everyone really desperately trying to prove their worth at the start of the season, because it can always be a problem of hitting the ground running. SK was the only question mark, I reckon.
They could have done better. I saw Cadian tweeting saying a lot of good individual play, but lacking in the teamwork. Which is exactly what we kind of pointed out. They were unsure with Berry going how the in-game leading would go. Obviously, it's been fairly short notice. They haven't really had a chance to get it working properly. So. Early days for them. Still was a good result. 16-11. Na'Vi are going to be delighted with that one because they don't ordinarily pick up too many wins on cash. So good start for them. But NIP Envy, that was probably the big shocker of the day. Continuing on where they left off in Dubai.
Yeah, and I don't know whether that was playing on the minds of Envy at all. Like, okay, we lost these before, that we need to win this one, otherwise we've got a problem. Otherwise we've lost to NIP. I
also don't know how much Envy would have worked on Train. Obviously, they said they worked on it coming into the major. They claimed that Overpass is probably their one map they don't really like, which they've been fairly open with. But so I wonder how much Train work they've had. There's still only, what, month? 6 weeks maybe together, I think, as a full team. I think it was
I mean, you're going to have week
August,
points.
Wasn't it? I think it was the start of August that they came together as a full unit. So still going to have a couple of weak maps in that pool. And NIP course, strong.
With the way the maps are assigned, they cannot avoid these ones. Cash for Navi, Train for Envy. This is what the Pro League forces teams to play, and that enables us to see the strengths and weaknesses coming up towards more major events, which are, of course, just around the corner, as you said. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. It has been a great day of CS, but it's not over just yet for CS. A little later on in the evening.
Couple of hours.
Couple of hours. I mean, yeah, not too long now, and I don't even have my watch on.
So 11 o'clock. 3 hours time.
Just my wrist.
3 hours time. It will be. So that's going to be 2 a.m. Pacific. That will be America kicking off, won't it?
Yeah, that's going to be kicking off there. You'll see the likes of Enemy debuting. CLG have got 2 games to play as well.
Complexity back in CS. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's good to see the Complexity name flying as well. Don't quite get to see too much of Liquid. It's Liquid versus Conquest, which will be going on. A rematch of a recent game as well. Good to see Conquest doing well under a new flag. I think they were orgless for a while and finally did get picked up. So lots of storylines to keep your eyes on over on the NA side of things. And as Lee said, kicking off in about 2 hours time.
3 hours.
3 hours, excuse me. 3 hours time. So if you're really craving more CS, do be sure to get back and watch that. From all of us here, though, we have to remind you about what's coming up tomorrow, where I think it's going to be myself and Lauren bringing you the games, and I don't want to see if I can get this right. So kicking off SK, oh my god, we're going to be seeing a whole lot of SK and mousesports over these first 2 days. Yeah,
it's a busy, busy day for them. So starting off, SK versus TSM. So tricky one for them because it's on Dust 2. But that is a good map for SK Gaming, remember. That's the map they were choosing quite often. But TSM... one of the best teams in the world. We'll say one of. We'll give Moses a break on that one. Inferno, though, NIP versus SK. Tricky one for SK there because NIP have had some pretty good results on Inferno recently.
Yeah, and I mean, seeing Hellraisers now, seeing where they go, where they're going kind of with the loss of Dosia, see what their plan is there. mousesports, again, 2 for them, and it's going to be on, one of them is going to be on Inferno. So this is going to be interesting, looking at what we saw from SK on Cash, what we saw from Mouse on Inferno. Lots of fun games to look forward to for tomorrow, but I think that's about everything from us today. Any closing thoughts, Lee?
Fantastic to see NIP playing well.
Yeah.
Don't know how long it's going to continue, but it's really nice to see.
We will ride the NIP hype train for as long as we possibly can. But from all of us here, it's time for us to say goodbye. See you tomorrow at the same time.